Question 1. What's likely to happen if you use a hands-free phone while you're driving? D. It will divert your attention. Talking to someone while you're driving can distract you, and unlike when someone is in the car with you, the person on the other end of a mobile phone is unable to see the traffic situations you're dealing with. They won't stop speaking to you, even if you're approaching a hazardous situation. You need to concentrate on your driving at all times.
If you want to pass DVSA theory test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 traffic road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time. Let's get back to the video.
Question 2. Why is it dangerous to travel too close to the vehicle ahead? C. Your view of the road ahead will be restricted. Tailgating is the term used when a driver or rider follows the vehicle in front too closely. It's dangerous because it restricts your view of the road ahead and leaves no safety margin if the vehicle in front needs to slow down or stop suddenly. Tailgating is often the underlying cause of rear-end collisions or multiple pile-ups. Question 3. You wish to turn right ahead. Why should you take up the correct position in good time? A. To help other road users know what you intend to do. If you wish to turn right into a side road, take up your position in good time. Move to the centre of the road when it's safe to do so. This will allow vehicles to pass you on the left. Early planning will show other traffic what you intend to do. Question 4. Why are these yellow lines painted across the road? A. To make you aware of your speed. These lines are often found on the approach to a roundabout or a dangerous junction. They give you extra warning to adjust your speed. Look well ahead and do this in good time. Question 5. What's most likely to distract you while you're driving? A. Using a mobile phone. Except for emergencies, it's illegal to use a handheld mobile phone while you're driving. Even using a hands-free kit can severely distract your attention. Question 6. What does the term blind spot mean? B. An area not visible to the driver. Modern vehicles provide the driver with a good view of both the road ahead and behind using well-positioned mirrors. However, the mirrors can't see every angle of the scene behind and to the sides of the vehicle. It's essential that you know when and how to check the vehicle's blind spots, so that you're aware of any hidden hazards. Question 7. You're in a line of traffic. What action should you take if the driver behind is following very closely? C. Slow down, gradually increasing the gap between you and the vehicle. In front. If the driver behind is following too closely, there's a danger they'll collide with the back of your vehicle if you stop suddenly. You can reduce this risk by slowing down and increasing the safety margin in front of you. This reduces the chance that you'll have to stop suddenly and allows you to spread your braking over a greater distance. This is an example of DOT, defensive driving. Question 8. The fluid level in your battery is low. What fluid should you use to top it up? B. Distilled water. Some modern batteries are maintenance-free. Check your vehicle handbook and, if necessary, make sure that the plates in each battery cell are covered with fluid. Question 9. You have to arrive on time for an appointment. How should you plan for the journey? A. Allow plenty of time for the trip. Always allow plenty of time for your journey in case of unforeseen problems. Anything can happen. For example, punctures, breakdowns, road closures, diversions, and delays. You'll feel less stressed and less inclined to take risks if you aren't pushed for time. Question 10. What can you expect if you drive using rapid acceleration and heavy braking? C. Increased fuel consumption. Using the controls smoothly can reduce fuel consumption by about 15%, as well as reducing wear and tear on your vehicle. Plan ahead and anticipate changes of speed well in advance. This will reduce the need to accelerate rapidly or brake sharply. Question 11. What will happen if your car's wheels are unbalanced? C. The steering will vibrate. If your wheels are out of balance, it will cause the steering to vibrate at certain speeds. This isn't a fault that will put itself right, so take your vehicle to a garage or tyre fitter to have the wheels rebalanced. Question 12. What's the safest thing to do if you have to leave valuables in your car? C. Lock them out of sight. If you have to leave valuables in your car, lock them out of sight. This is the best way to deter an opportunist thief. Question 13. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? C. To help you avoid neck injury. In a collision, rapid deceleration will violently throw vehicle occupants forward and then backwards as the vehicle stops. Seat belts and airbags protect occupants against the forward movement. Head restraints should be adjusted so they give maximum protection to the head and neck during the backward movement. Question 14. Why should you keep well to the left as you approach a right-hand bend? D. To improve your view of the road. Keeping to the left as you approach right-hand bends will give you an earlier view around the bend and enable you to see any hazards sooner. It also reduces the risk of collision with any oncoming vehicle that may have drifted over the centre line while taking the bend. Question 15. You're travelling on the motorway. How can you lower the risk of a collision when the vehicle behind is following too closely? D. Increase your distance from the vehicle in front. On busy roads, traffic may still travel at high speeds. Don't follow the vehicle in front too closely. If a driver behind seems to be pushing you, gradually increase your distance from the vehicle in front by slowing down gently. This will give you more space in front if you have to brake, and will reduce the risk of a collision involving several vehicles. Question 16. How can you use your vehicle's engine as a brake? B. By changing to a lower gear. When driving on downhill stretches of road, selecting a lower gear gives increased engine braking. This will prevent excessive use of the brakes, which become less effective if they overheat. Question 17. What should you do if you think the driver of the vehicle in front has forgotten to cancel their right indicator? A. Stay behind and don't overtake. Be cautious and don't attempt to overtake. The driver may be unsure of the location of a dot, junction, and may turn suddenly. Question 18. You're driving on this dual carriageway. Why may you need to slow down? A. There are roadworks ahead of you. Look well ahead and read any road signs as you drive. They're there to inform you of what's ahead. In this case, you may need to slow down and change direction. Check your mirrors, so you know what's happening around you before you change speed or direction. Question 19. What should you do if it's raining and you're following this lorry on a motorway? D. Be aware of spray reducing your vision. The usual 2-second time gap increases to 4 seconds when the roads are wet. If you stay well back, you'll be able to see past the vehicle, be out of the spray thrown up by the lorry's tyres, give yourself more time to stop if the need arises, increase your chances of being seen by the lorry driver. Question 20. Why should you check for motorcyclists just before turning right into a side road? B. They may be overtaking on your right. Never attempt to change direction to the right without first checking your right-hand mirror and blind spot. A motorcyclist might not have seen your signal and could be hidden by other traffic. This observation should become a matter of routine. Question 21. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and can be hard to see. What must they display if they're travelling on a dual carriageway? D. Flashing amber beacon. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and low, making them hard to see on the road. They also travel very slowly. On an unrestricted dual carriageway, they must display a flashing amber beacon to warn other road users of their presence. Question 22. You're driving in a slow-moving queue of traffic. What should you do just before changing lane? A. Look for motorcyclists filtering through the traffic. In queuing traffic, motorcyclists could be passing you on either side. Use your mirrors and check your blind area before changing lanes or changing direction. Question 23. You're waiting to turn right out of a minor road. It's clear to the left, but a lorry is coming from the right. Why should you wait, even if you have enough time to turn? B. Anything overtaking the lorry will be hidden from view. Large vehicles can hide other vehicles that are overtaking, especially motorcycles. You need to be aware of the possibility of hidden vehicles and not assume that it's safe to turn. Question 24. You're driving on a single carriageway road. Why should you keep well back while you're following a large vehicle? C. To get the best view of the road ahead. When following a large vehicle, keep well back. If you're too close, you won't be able to see the road ahead, and the driver of the long vehicle might not be able to see you in their mirrors. Question 25. You're travelling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? D. Look for pedestrians. People may be running to catch the bus, or passengers leaving. The bus might wish to cross the road in front of the bus. Look out for them if you intend to go past it. Consider how many people are waiting to get on the bus. Check the queue if you can. The bus might move off straight away if no one is waiting to get on. If a bus is signalling to pull out, give it priority if it's safe to do so. Question 26. You're leaving a safe gap as you follow a large vehicle. What should you do if a car moves into this gap? A. Drop back further. Sometimes your separation distance is shortened by a driver moving into the gap you've allowed. When this happens, react positively, stay calm, and drop further back to re-establish a safe following distance. Question 27. You're driving in fog. Why should you keep well back from the vehicle in front? A. In case it stops suddenly. If you're following another road user in fog, stay well back. The driver in front won't be able to see hazards until they're close and might need to brake suddenly. Also, the road surface is likely to be wet and could be slippery. Question 28. What should you do when you're approaching roadworks on a motorway? C. Obey the speed limit. Be aware of reduced speed limits at roadworks. Speed limits shown inside a red circle are mandatory, and cameras are often used to enforce the reduced limit. Slow down in good time, and keep your distance from the vehicle in front. Question 29. You're travelling in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. How should you react to traffic joining from a slip road? A. Adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely. Plan well ahead when approaching a slip road. If you see traffic joining the motorway, be prepared to adjust your speed or move to another lane if it's safe to do so. This can help the flow of traffic joining the motorway, especially at peak times. Question 30. How do motorways reduce traffic bunching? A. By using variable speed limits. You must follow the mandatory signs on the gantries above motorway lanes, including the hard shoulder. Variable speed limits help keep the traffic moving and also help to prevent bunching. Question 31. What does this motorway sign mean? A. Use all the lanes, including the hard shoulder. You must obey mandatory speed limit signs above motorway lanes, including the hard shoulder. In this case, you can use the hard shoulder as a running lane, but you should look for any vehicles that may have broken down and may be blocking the hard shoulder. Question 32. What's the meaning of this sign? C. National speed limit applies. This sign doesn't tell you the speed limit in figures. You should know the speed limit for the type of road that you're on and the type of vehicle that you're driving or riding. Study your copy of the highway code. Question 33. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? C. When you're overtaking or turning right. You should normally use the left-hand lane on any dual carriageway unless you're overtaking or turning right. When overtaking on a dual carriageway, look for vehicles ahead that are turning right. They may be slowing or stopped. You need to see them in good time so that you can take appropriate action. Question 34. What signal should you give when you're going straight ahead at a roundabout? A. Signal left before leaving the roundabout. When going straight ahead at a roundabout, don't signal as you approach it. Signal left just after passing the exit before the one you wish to take. Question 35. What must you do if you come across roadworks that have a temporary speed limit displayed? A. Obey the speed limit. Where there are extra hazards, such as at roadworks, it's often necessary to slow traffic by 0.05. Imposing a lower speed limit. These speed limits aren't advisory, they must be obeyed. Question 36. How far are you allowed to reverse? A. No further than is necessary. You mustn't reverse further than is necessary. You may decide to turn your vehicle around by reversing into an opening or side road. When you reverse, always look all around you and watch for pedestrians. Don't reverse from a side road into a main road. Question 37. Which is the sign for a ring road? B. Ring roads are designed to relieve congestion in towns and city centres. Question 38. What does this sign mean? D. Traffic lights out of order. You might see this sign where traffic lights are out of order. Proceed with caution, as nobody has priority at the junction. Question 39. What must you do when you see this sign? C. Stop even if the road is clear. Stop signs are situated at junctions where visibility is restricted or where there's heavy traffic. They must be obeyed. You must stop. Look carefully before moving off. Question 40. What does this sign mean? B. Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Be prepared for traffic approaching from junctions on either side of you. Try to avoid unnecessary changing of lanes just before the junction. Question 41. What does this sign mean? B. Two-way traffic straight ahead. This sign may be at the end of a dual carriageway or a one-way street. It's there to warn you of oncoming traffic. Question 42. What does this sign mean? D. Hump bridge. You'll need to slow down. At hump bridges, your view ahead will be restricted and the road will often be narrow. If the bridge is very steep, sound your horn to warn others of your approach. Going over the bridge too fast is highly dangerous to other road users and could even cause your wheels to leave the road with a resulting loss of control. Question 43. Which sign shows that you're entering a one-way system? B. If the road has two lanes, you can use either lane and overtake on either side. Use the lane. That's more convenient for your destination, unless signs or road markings indicate otherwise. Question 44. What does this sign mean? A. Zebra crossing ahead. Look well ahead and be ready to stop for any pedestrians crossing or about to cross the road. Also check the pavements for anyone who looks like they might step or run into the road. Question 45. What's covered by third-party insurance? A. Damage to other vehicles. Third-party insurance doesn't cover damage to your own vehicle or injury to yourself. If you have a crash and your vehicle is damaged, you might have to carry out the repairs at your own expense. Question 46. What circumstances require you to notify the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVSA? B. When your health affects your driving. DVSA holds the records of all vehicles, drivers and riders in Great Britain and Northern Ireland. They need to know if you have a medical condition that might affect your ability to drive safely. You must tell them if your health deteriorates and you become unfit to drive. Question 47. Are passengers allowed to ride in a caravan that's being towed? B. No, not at any time. Riding in a towed caravan is highly dangerous. The safety of the entire unit is dependent on the stability of the trailer. Moving passengers would make the caravan unstable and could cause loss of control. Question 48. What does this sign mean? C. Beach. Symbols are often used to indicate the type of destination. This one is for a beach. Question 49. Where would you usually see this road sign? B. On a motorway. You would usually see this sign on a motorway. Question 50. You come across the following sign. What does it mean? D. No ridden or accompanied horses. A red circle indicates prohibition. The sign tells you the no ridden or accompanied horses are allowed here.
If you want to pass DVSA theory test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 traffic road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time. Let's get back to the video.